Hello, my dear friends. Dear friends, I am once again back with the summary of one more novel of Ernest Miller Hemingway. You know how important he is as an American novelist from competition point of view. The novel that I have brought for you is his second novel that has the setting of America, that opens in America. All the actions of this novel, like the torrents of spring, happen in America. Remember that. The Torrents of Spring, his first novel, has America as its setting, and this is the second novel that also has its setting in America. Very important novel, and this is probably the fourth, yes, the fourth published novel by just Ernest Miller Hemingway. The publication is 1937 first, The Torrents of Spring 1926, second, The Sun Also Rises 1926, third, A Farewell to Arms 1929, and this is the fourth, To Have and Have Not. This is the title, To Have and Have Not. Have means this is a kind of a phrase that was given in a kind of a derogatory sense. Haves means the rich people, and have-nots. Remember, haves, H-A-V-E-S, haves stands for the rich, and its opposite, have-nots. N-O-T, not takes S to make the word plural and to make the word opposite of haves. So, to have and have not. So, let's look at certain important facts related to this novel, and then we'll enjoy the summary of this novel. To Have and Have Not, 1937. Remember this, the publication of the year. It was written in between 1935-37 when Spanish Civil War was going on. I have written this. Second novel of Hemingway set in America. First, The Torrents of Spring. Publisher Charles Scribner Sons. Written in between 1935-37 during the Spanish Civil War. Portrays Key West and Cuba in 1930s. So, Key West and Cuba, what was actually the situation in these two countries, or in these two, you can say these two places. Multiple narratives by many narrators, so lots of narratives and multiple narrators are used in this novel. So let's look at the summary. The novel depicts Harry Morgan. Remember this, Harry Morgan is the central character of this novel. And second thing, I'll rush a little bit fast. I'll try myself to be precise. Why? Because time and again I get a kind of a complaint or suggestion from you that somehow my explanation or my videos become long or longer. So I'll try my best to be precise. So the novel depicts Harry Morgan. Remember, he is the protagonist of this novel, an honest man forced into running contraband between Cuba and Key West as a means of keeping his crumbling family financially afloat in Depression era. This was the Depression era. It was a kind of an era post-World War, all right, that had lots of mental, lots of physical, you can say not physical, lots of psychological issues. Country or the Europe was in a kind of a trouble, you can say, financial, psychological, lots of kind of a bomb. Just the World War I had rendered the Europe jobless. Deprived the Europe of, you can say, job opportunities. So there was a depression. That's why it was called a kind of a depression era. He talks about the lost generation, means the youngsters with no objectives, with no hope, with no goals in their own lives, simply spending their time doing all useless kind of things like drinking, gambling, just babbling, unnecessarily picking up fights with one and all. So that is just the depression era. So Harry Morgan, an honest man, he is forced to do wrong things. He's forced to just commit crimes. Why? Only to keep the financial country of the family good. A rich fishing charter customer, one of the habsmans, the owner of this fishing charter is a rich man, one from the Richmond Habs, bilks Harry by slipping away without paying after a 3-week fishing trip, leaving Harry destitute. So see, how is he cheated by a rich man? And this cheating leaves Harry destitute, extremely poor. This Harry Morgan suffers massively. He suffers financially and suffers massively because of this rich man. You see this. Stuck in Havana and motivated by the need to support family, he turns to crime. So see, he is stuck in Havana, away from his own home, and now he is motivated by the need to support family. He turns to crime. So why does he resort to crime? Why? Because he has no way left. Situation and conditions and circumstances somehow force him to take the way of the crime, to take the law in his hand. Why? Because no way out, and he has to support his family, he has to feed his family, and that's why he resorts to crime. He makes a fateful decision to swindle, means cheat, would-be Chinese emigrants seeking passage into Florida from Cuba. So he decides to cheat those Chinese immigrants who actually want to go to Florida, and these immigrants are actually from Cuba. Instead of transporting them as agreed, as compromised, or as just as per their contract or his contract, he murders the Chinese middleman and puts the men ashore in Cuba. See this. He begins to carry different different kind of illegal cargo between two countries, including alcohol and Cuban revolutionaries. And see how he starts doing wrong things like carrying alcohol, carrying Cuban revolutionaries. These events alternate with chapters that describe the dissolute lives of wealthy yacht owners. Yacht, those big ships in the oceans are called yacht. Remember this. Owners. The Great Depression features prominently in the novel, forcing depravity and hunger of the poor residents of Key West, means the have-nots, means the poor people, who are just referred to locally as conchs or conks. So see this, This novel, by and large, shows the miserable condition of those poor people, those poor workers who were just exploited, misbehaved, and treated all badly by the so-called people belonging to the rich class. I hope, my dear learners, this novel to some extent would have become clear to you. Provided that you find some complications and difficulties, do let me know. Thank you, my dear friends.